I want the shits. Been doing it all, so I take an Adderall to forget.
What's going on, everybody? My name is AC, and today we are in tune with Thouzand Floyd. Thouzand Floyd, what's good, man?
What's good, baby?
What's
Finally
good?
got a chance to catch up with you.
Right. You got this single coming out called "I Want to Forget,"
Yes, sir.
featuring YP. All right, so we're gonna start. We're gonna get to that, but first we're gonna start because I always wanted to know, what is Thouzand Floyd mean? Like, what is a thousand in the?
So, back when I was younger, man, I was like a part of a group. It was a few of us. Probably was like 8 of us.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It was a group of us that, that really was into rapping and shit like that. So, we was all trying to pick out our names. I was like back and forth to New Jersey at this time. So when I was in Jersey, I'm rapping for some old heads and freestyle. You know what I mean? So at that time, that's back when, it was only, if you could rap about one thing, you was good, just only
Right.
rapping about one thing. But me, I was on everything. I was saying every angle. And he was like, man, I feel like this old head was like, man, I feel like you could rap about 1,000 subjects, yo. I'm gonna call you Thou, like, you know what I mean? So, I kept Thousand, but I ain't really wanted to be so short, so I put my real last name on it. So Floyd is my real last name.
Okay.
So
Oh, that's dope. So you basically got that from the old heads gave you that name. That's what's up.
yeah.
That's what's up. So then you talked about being. Are you from Jersey?
Yeah, I'm from New Jersey. So, I was born there and whatnot, but like all my family lives there. I'm from North, so North is fucked up. It's
Right.
just not really a place to you really want to raise anybody. Well, especially at that time, the
Right.
block was crazy. I seen a lot before I was able to even process that shit. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like when I got a little older, my dad, like he moved me to PA with him, but I still only had family in New Jersey. I didn't have no family in PA. So,
Right.
I did the back and forth thing. So
Okay.
that's how I go.
That is where your love came from music when you were in Jersey, or was it more so when you came out PA that when you started rapping more?
Nah, when I came to PA, that's when I started rapping more. Like New Jersey will always be home because it's where I was born. It's where my mom still lives, where the majority of my family, actually, at this point, all of my family pretty much lives in New Jersey at this time. But I was so young, I probably was like 11 when I moved. I was 11 when I moved. So like, as far as music goes, I would say I'm based from Pennsylvania because that's where I first got my first taste of stardom or someone being a fanatic for Thousand. Like,
Right.
I eventually moved back to New Jersey at one point, and I went to high school there and shit like that. So I started building a little more, but I started as a youngin' out in PA,
Right.
Pennsylvania. I was like already like starting to like get a taste of like, what it could mean if somebody is into you on that level, on a fan level.
And you mentioned fans. So what was the song that you made when you're like, okay, like this is the shit that I want to do. Like this song right here, like this is the lane I'm gonna take. What was that song that took you to that point where you're like, people fucking with me?
All right, so it's crazy because like all of my like fans who've been there with me since day one, they all always email me, DM me like, yo, where's that one freestyle? So I did this freestyle called Best Day Ever. It was a Mac Miller freestyle.
Okay.
Like I said, PA, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, let me do a freestyle of this shit. And like I said, that first level of stardom is when, you know what I mean, you asking for a little and then you receive a lot. That's what
Right.
I look at it like when I first started like noticing having fans and whatnot. It's like I had I went on Facebook. I'm like, yo, if anybody want to be in a video, come to, such and such park. It was a park on Southside Bethlehem.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, meet me there. We could do the video, whatever. And that was at that time, that was only my second video. So of course I've been doing stuff in school, but it's like, I was rapping and stuff in school, but like I felt like people didn't know me yet. Yo, when I got to this park, this motherfucker's lined across the wall. I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? That's real love, you know what I mean? And just that feeling right there, before the song was even released, I had already felt, you know what I mean? Like, yo, I gotta do this.
This is it. And that was for the freestyle?
Yeah, that was just for a freestyle. I'm like, wow, this many people to come to support me. And, that was like back when I was first starting to realize like, it's going to be people that approach you that you ain't never met before, but they feel like they know you. And It's like, it's only rightfully so. You know what I mean? You gave them a moment that, you know what I mean, like they might not have got from anywhere else. You know what I mean? You might have gave them some type of inspiration. So, you know, they came there, they did it, and the video came out dope. And that shit actually built me up more. Like, you know what I mean? And people was just, you know, I got to learn the word of mouth. You know what I mean? I ain't never had no manager growing up like that. So it's like, it was just like, you got to take these shits on a whim being an independent artist.
Right. And then the people that was in the video, now they're in the video and they sharing it too. And everybody big.
Oh, yeah. We all youngins, you know what I mean? Right. Running around doing whatever.
Mm-hmm. And that's dope. That's dope to be able to have physical people, because a lot of people get these numbers but don't have physical, you know what I'm saying, people that would buy merch, come out. So that's dope that you had that early on. So now you went from that, and now you're in this point of your career, you know, it's 2021, and you have a song coming out called I Want to Forget. What made you say, okay, this is the song. Let me get YP on it. Let's push this one.
So I learned, you know, as artists, we all deal through the frustration of comparing yourself to others and why am I not here, or why am I not there, or why do I not feel good when I make this or when I make that or whatever. And it's like, you gotta figure that out with yourself. So I had a moment where I had to figure that out with myself, and I started recording myself, and that was like the key that unlocked it. Like, wow, like I can make as much as I want now. Recording with people, that sometimes it's touch and go. And like, that's cool, you know what I mean? That's a part of the business. But when you're there by yourself creating, it's a different feel, and that shit helped me out the funk. And the thing was, I made a bunch of songs when I was just in this mix. And at that time, I was just like, you know what? Like, you know, I gotta drop content, like drop songs, just like, you know, content creators dropping videos, you know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? Like, it don't even really matter. Like, I got, like, you know, my inner circle where I let them listen to it. I'm like, yo, this one is hard. And I was thinking about who I wanted to do one with, man. But YP, I knew him since we was younger, you know what I mean? And I was like, damn, yo, we never forgot one, you know? So I sent it to him. He listened to it. He was like, he sent me a voice message back. He said, bro, it's on. So, you know, and after that, it was what it was, you know? So we created that. And I was like, you know, I might as well go with this first. But it don't even matter, because at this point, I'm ready to unload the clip, you know? So, yeah.
So then is this the one that's gonna start, like you said, unload the clip? This is the start of like you just going crazy?
Oh, yeah. This is exactly what that is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that wasn't the only video I was shooting. Like, I was just out here creating, you know what I mean? Making as much as I can. And it's like, you know what I mean? This is how you have fun with it. Like, you gotta have fun creating it, making it, putting it out, every part of that, every aspect of the game, you know what I mean? So this is just, you know what I mean? And this is something to be excited about, you know what I mean? Like, oh, wow, I'm about to give it to him, you know what I mean? Like, and they always wanted me to give it to him this way, but, you know, I was always like passive with it. Like, you know, I'm gonna give them this, they'll be all right, you know what I mean? But when people start DMing you from other countries, like, look, bro, I don't even speak English. I translated this just to tell you.
That's fine.
Drop some more shit, you know what I mean? So it's like, once they start hitting you on that angle, you start to really understand, all right, I need to do this right now.
Right. And this is called I Want to Forget. So what can the people and the fans expect from this record? Like
grittiness. Just grittiness, man. Like, it's like, it was a moment where I heard the beat and I was just like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel real, like, you know, this is that Desperado vibe. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this reminds me of times where I might have been desperate, you know what I mean? And it's like, or what happened when other people got desperate that was around me, you know what I mean? And I feel like that disparity, that's one thing that when you growing up, you start to realize that, you know what I mean? That changes people. Like, you know how they say money changes people? Me personally, I think money makes people better. Disparity, that's like a fork in the road for some folks, yo. Like, a motherfucker get desperate, you start seeing like, oh, this motherfucker eat nails for breakfast. You know what I mean? Like, he is built for this moment, you know what I mean? Or you find out, you know, niggas is ramen noodles. Like, it's one or the other, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what mindset I had. And yo, I'm like, when I sent it to YP, like, we went and we recorded his verse together, yo. When I got to hear it, I said, yo, I don't know if I've been matched this well. Like, I mean, of course, like I done did some shit with folks, but like I've never been this satisfied with a verse. You know what I mean? That's beside working with Cooley, because Cooley, he's like, you know, one of my producers. But like somebody outside my circle, like just coming, like I've never been more satisfied with a verse from someone before.
Well, that's exciting to hear then, because hearing that is like, because you know, we heard a bunch of your songs, and just hearing that this is like one of your favorite features that you're getting. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited to hear it.
Yeah. He surprised me, man.
That's what's up. So you did mention Cooley. Now I did want to get into that.
Okay.
I know Cooley. I met him. I recorded with him a few times. Where did that connection come from? Because I know he's been your producer and also an engineer, I'm assuming, as well for you for the past years. How did that connection happen?
So I met Cooley back in like, I don't know, maybe like 2013, maybe. I met him through a friend. I met him through a mutual friend, Hollywood. You know what I mean? That's like my brother. You know what I mean? Like, and he was like, yo, come meet my brother. You know what I mean? And he's from New Jersey. You know what I mean? I'm from New Jersey. So both of them from New Jersey, but you know, Cooley's from Rahway. That's like Afghanistan. But either way, I met up with them or whatever. And like me and Cooley just hit it off from the go. Like we recorded. And at that time, Cooley was big into music. So he like did a video. I did the video with him. And like, from there, we just clicked. Like, you know, he looked at me like one of his young boys, like, yo, I'm gonna take you under the wing. And like, Cooley was coming to my living room recording, you know what I mean? Like most of my songs, I got the most popular I recorded. Like, like me building up my grind, like he believed in me and he recorded me, you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know how I'm gonna ever repay Cooley, you know what I mean? Like if I was to ever, you know what I mean, like come off that, you know what I mean, that big load is like, I gotta give him that, because that was like my mentor in the game, you know?
Right. That's dope. That's fine. That's good to have somebody like that, especially when you're young, trying to come up and figure shit out. To have somebody like that's solid.
He's taught me things about like, you know what I mean? It was music, of course, but like, you know, like I was a loner a lot. Like, I had my dogs, but like as far as family, like, you know, my dad eventually moved back to back to New Jersey. So like I was out in PA for years as a youngin' by myself. Like I'm just out here, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And like Cooley, like he schooled me on a lot of game, like, yo, you know, this and this, you know, and like, you know, that you can't replace that. No argument could like, you know what I mean, break us apart. You know what I mean? Right. So
that's dope. Yeah. That's dope. And I do want to talk about how you stayed consistent even through having kids. Do you have 2 kids or 1 kid?
Well, I have 2 kids. I got my son, my son, and then I have my girlfriend, her daughter also. So of course, you know, that's family too.
Right, of course. So now that you're dealing with this responsibility of having 1 kid, 2 kids, you got 2 kids now, and you're still pushing out content. You're doing Instagram videos, freestyles, being creative, and still, you know what I'm saying, raising children. How do you stay consistent and with dealing with that? Because I know it's a lot of work.
Oh yeah. It's a balance. It all depends on how old your kids is too. That's one of the biggest things. I know you just had, you know what I mean, the twins, and you know they tiny, so they, you know, they got their pros and cons at this age. But
sure.
You know, my son is 4, so it's like, you know, my stepdaughter, she's 6. So it's like they at an age where they just know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they let you do your own thing, and you know they let you. I mean, my son, he goes crazy, but I mean he just lets you do your thing. But you gotta, once you have a kid, man, like, you know, a manager I had in the past, he was like, yo, it's 2 things that, you know, either push you. It's either one, you know, you go to jail or something, or you have a kid. You know what I mean? And it's like, for those who creating content, like, and you have a kid, or you know, you scared to have kids, you gotta think, Young Thug got like 7 kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like these, like you could be poor, have not, you know what I mean, and have all these kids, and it's just like the love will help you get through it. The love will help you figure it out. You know what I mean? So that's what it really goes on. Like, you know what I mean? So you figure it out. You figure it out. If you focus, if you believe in what you're about to do, you're gonna figure it out.
That's the key. And that's what it is. You have to be passionate about what you're doing. And
oh yeah.
And to see how hard you're still working and having a, you know what I'm saying? Because it also your girlfriend, that's three people that's dependent on you. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
that
saying?
need that they need that TLC. And you
Exactly.
gotta give it, yo. You gotta give it, man. Like,
Mhm.
you know, you're like if you with a girl, you that's your wifey, that's your shorty, she a rider, whatever she is to you, like, yo, you gotta give her what she want. Like you gotta give her that, or you gotta compromise with her about why you not gonna give it to her. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that's your only option because I've been in relationships where, you know, I wasn't willing to compromise anything. And that shit built animosity. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's just like, you know what I mean? Like when if you had something that ended, it didn't work out, like maybe it might have been 100% your fault, but
Mhm.
even if it was 20%, you got to try to fix that shit the next go around. So
Right.
it's like, that's something I learned, like, you know, the next go around, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's something you learn in passing. Like, you know what? Like, I got to give. I got to give to everything. If this is what you want, you got to give to everything.
Right. And I got this theory that people that come from circumstance, like you said, you're from Newark, so
Yeah,
which is a gritty, raw place. Now,
yeah.
people from that are very prideful. Now, do you think in relationship the compromising, not able to compromise and communicate well with a woman, and you know, do you feel like pride gets in the way of that a lot in certain situations?
Oh, yeah. Pride gets in the way of it a lot. And like, selfishness. Let's be real. Like I'm not going to say like let's call it what it is. Like
Right.
let's call it what it is. Like you if you can't selfish is a strong word.
Mm-hmm.
Being selfish is a strong word. People don't like to hear that word. That
Yep.
word hurt more than a lot of different words.
Mm-hmm.
But let's think about it. If you're not willing to give something up for no reason,
Mm-hmm.
you're being selfish, you know what I mean? So it's just like, or you gotta time it out or something, you know what I mean? It like pride is just it's just selfishness in a way, like, yo, I gotta do this because this is me, you know what I mean? And I understand that. That makes sense. Some selfishness is justified, just like me being prideful of the city I come from, like, but I would say the city I come from don't make me prideful. Maybe other people it might be like that, but for
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm not super prideful because I come from North. Like
Mm-hmm.
me coming from North just mean that I done seen people without. I done not had nothing myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I done seen people lose it all. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just like I came out of North with a more thankful mind state.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, at least we got something. You know
Right.
what I mean? At least we, you know what I mean? So I don't get. I try. I mean, of course, I do get prideful at times, but I try not to because
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yo, shit is bad other places. You know what I
Right.
mean? Even in your place, it don't matter if you from North, you from, you know, you from PA, you from any city.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got their pros and cons, and like most of us seen a motherfucker without. You know
Right.
what I mean? You like, you know what? I'm just happy for what I really got. You know?
Mm-hmm. So it seems like you focus more on it. To me, it sounds like you have a like a good structure in your family. Like I feel like you use a lot of women as your covers for your cover arts on your songs. You speak highly of women in your music. So I would
Yeah.
say from hearing all of that, it sounds like you have like a good mother, a good woman figure in your life to, you know, show you that. Where does that come from?
It's just honestly, it's from doing a lot of wrong. Be
Mm.
honest, like it's just like, how do you really know? You know what I mean? Like what? Like how do you really know what you're doing unless you did some wrong?
Right.
Oh wait, you lost it. Oh wait, yeah.
You
So
go.
how do you really know unless you did some wrong? Like you know what I mean? My mom, I had a single mom. She had me when she was young.
Mm.
She had me when she was oh man, there you go. She had me when she was really young, like 16. You know what I mean? So it's like I didn't see her be without. I didn't see her struggle. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you get into your life as a man, as a boy, as a teen, and you just out here living that life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Being with whoever, whenever, and that's fine. That's cool. You know what I mean? You gotta feel it out. You
Right.
gotta feel it out. But it's like there's casualties along the way. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like me learning, I just learned from casualties, and like I done seen women go through a lot of things, you know what I mean? Like I said, my mom, like, we ain't have much. We ain't have nothing. She had to work hard to get everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I try my best to speak, you know what I mean, highly of women, you know what I mean? Of course I have songs where I be wilding, but it's like
Right.
we all do what we want to do. You know, we all
Mm-hmm.
have our times, you know, we do what we do, but I started making women my covers just because I felt like, you know what I mean, like video vixens, like I felt like, you know, well, they call them video vixens, but models or whatever, like they don't really get that exposure sometimes. And like I felt like that would be a good thing for me because like, you know, any woman I've ever worked with in any of my videos or whatever, they'll all tell you like, you know what I mean, it's always been love, it's always been respect.
Yeah.
I come, you know what I mean, we handle our business and that's it. Like, you know what I mean, regardless of having a girlfriend or not, like single, whatever it was, like that was one thing I was always about my business, even as a youngin'. I'm like, yo, you know, let's do this video, bang, that's it. Like, you know what I mean? They ain't gotta be nothing. Niggas ain't about to coerce you. None of that. Niggas ain't about to Bill Cosby a bitch. Like, you know what I mean?
Because these rappers do that. These rappers do that. It's sad.
I mean, I ain't even gonna say rapper. I'm gonna say people do shitty things to other people. People do bad things to people. And it's like, when you go into a high risk situation, you thinking about, is that going to be me? You know? Right. And it's like, I want to link with a motherfucker and I want to have a good collaboration. You know what I mean? So I felt like, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like that would be a dope thing that I could do for myself. Like I do females as covers, you know what I mean? They get the exposure. They get to live in that moment. They get to be recognized. And like, it just makes me feel good. It makes them feel good. So why even stop, you know?
Right. And then you fucked me up a little bit with the Demon Time cover. So I remember back in the day, Snoop Dogg showed up to the award show with two girls on a leash. And this is where I was like, okay, so he like, you praised the woman because you like did it the other way around and had her like with the leash. I was like, okay, he's on some dominatrix shit. Like, where did that idea stem from?
Yo, because it's like, at the end of the day, like times are changing. Times is changing. It's people who live, you know what I mean, different lives. And I feel like, you know what I mean, we why not show everything? You know what I mean? It's folks that with them collars around their neck. You know what I mean? Like
for sure.
You know, I just felt like that was what that moment needed right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like like me personally, yo, I like boss bitches. Like I've always been attracted to bosses, like or somebody who go get their own, and that may be because of my mom. You know, I seen my mom go get her own, so it's like it's just wired in my head. Like I want a boss bitch. Like I want to be around boss bitches. Like in my videos, I want boss bitches in my videos. Like that's it. You know what I mean? So it's like that's what I felt at that moment. I'm like, yo, you like, you know, Jasmine. That's a frequent collaborator I have. Like me and her work on videos. Like that's one person that I always call to do my videos. Like, you know what I mean? Like consistency. That's another thing that's sometimes hard in music videos, but like, you know, I'm with that. And I was like, yo, you ready to get on your boss bitch shit? Like, she was like, yeah, of course, always.
And that's fine that you're comfortable to do, because I'm be honest, a lot of guys won't, and that goes back to the pride shit. A lot of guys are too prideful to like make it look like someone is in control of them. But you hear the song and it's like, it makes so much sense though. I was like, I fuck with it. It was dope. And I like that you're creative with it. I feel like when you think of your covers or when you're about to drop something, you think about the marketing before, like, because a lot of people just want to put music out, but I feel like you think deeper into that. Is that how you move with it?
Oh yeah. I love it, man. I love to like be like a little different angle. Like, you know, I've always loved watching music videos since I was 5 years old. I would sit there and watch videos, and you know what I mean? That was just something and that was before Instagram, you know what I mean? Of course. So, you know what I mean? The videos were just sacred to me. And I felt like if I was going to be in this game, you know what I mean? That's just going to be something that I get at, you know what I mean? And all my videos, I've directed just about every single one of my videos. Like, you know what I mean? Like every single one, it was just me, like, it was part of me, like, yo, we should do it like this, so finesse this, or this is the base idea, and we're going to build from here. And it's like, that's how I work with it, man. And it's like, it's marketing, but it's like, what do I want to see? Like, what do I feel in it? Like, do I, you know what I mean, want this to go this way? That's how I come with it.
More of a creative process. And that's a question I had about your videos, because your videos are always like very detailed and they always have a purpose to the video. So that was my questions too, because you got the High Road, which was a very dope in detail video. You know, the plot was in it, like everything was dope in there. And then Let's Die Together, like all these videos were you even got the props, you got the makeup, you know what I'm saying? You go all out with it. Like, So
Yeah.
you basically answered that question in that too. So I did want to shout that out.
Oh yeah, shout out to director Matt Dunson. Like, yo, me and him did a High Road together. We did Let's Die together. And like, yo, like that was, you know what I mean? That's my guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like me and him, whenever we collab, we get into that, you know what I mean? And he helps a lot. He's like, yo, you know what I mean? I tell him the vision, and it's like the camera guy most, you know, not 8 times out of 10, they come like, look, we gonna come at it from this angle, and he always know how to work it. So shout out to him.
Yeah, and it definitely comes out dope, and you can tell that it's a good collaboration. Like you guys are like both on the same mindset, so it's dope to see that. And then you also did a video and you made a song called "I'm Not a Whore."
Oh yeah.
And so that video was another one that's dope as fuck, and that one got a lot of attention. People were saying that they thought it was Joyner Lucas.
Oh yeah. Yo, I don't know if you've seen, but he actually like commented on one of the posts like, yo, you know, like, I don't know why everybody thinks this is me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And I felt so justified at that moment, because I mean, he definitely inspired it when he made the I'm Not Racist song, but I mean, that's about it. Like, it's just, I just used the song, I just came at a whole different angle, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, that's something that I know about, you know what I mean? I know, you know what I mean, females that's in them trenches, like, it's not just niggas in the trenches, it's females in the trenches, like, and they gotta do what they gotta do, you know what I mean? Everybody don't wanna be a gangster bitch, like, you just gonna do some shit that you gotta do to get by, and then that's that, like, that's all it is, like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, nah, and that I did see that, like you said, it justified, like, because he was like, he don't sound like me, because everybody kept saying this. And honestly, me personally, before I even heard of Joyner Lucas or anything, like, that's a sound like you been had. So like, when I seen people on Facebook and stuff, like, because there was other people saying it too, like around the city, and I'm like, nah, like, I was putting up like, nah, he actually been sounding like this. Ain't nothing new that he's doing. He's been this creative. So yeah, nah, it was definitely dope. I think the video and the purpose of the video was very strong for women too. To relate to.
Yo, I mean, it was people I had to call to help me with that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, should I go this route? You know what I mean? You know, it was wild. Like at that time, I was like a little bit down and out. Like, yo, I was on a bus. I'm on a bus in Newark, like in Jersey. I was living in Jersey still. And I was on a bus and I'm like, damn, yo, what if I hit it from this angle? The first call I made was to Matt, like, yo, what if I did this, and this? Like, and you know what I mean? Like that idea was so shocking. It was like, you know what I mean? I didn't know what to expect. I was hoping he was gonna be on my side, but once he heard me, he said, oh yeah, we're gonna do that. How fast can you finish writing that? I was like, oh, you know, it is what it is, you know what I mean? And then we went from there.
That's fire. So basically you thought about the idea of the video first and then wrote the song?
Yes.
Wow. That's fire.
Yeah, like I thought of the concept of it, like, you know, what if it's a chick hitting it from her angle, and then that shit just helped me pen game the whole thing. And it's just like, I just had to think of the scenarios, you know what I mean? The bro stories, like, because, you know, and you know, we, you know, men, you know, they gonna bark, you know what I mean? Men, you know, we bark sometimes. So it's like, you know, I had to create, you know what I mean, some angles and hopefully some, because I've been in situations where I seen niggas do shit and I was just like, that could get crazy. You know, if she felt some type of way about that, like that could turn the tide of your life, the course of your life. So it's like, I made it for men in a way too, so that they can like, because sometimes you in those moments, those high intensity moments, and you like, yo, maybe I should do this, you know, but you probably shouldn't. And you thinking about that shit like, damn, yo, what if I get to, yo, hell no.
Right.
Hell
no. And speaking of your pen, so recently, well, not recently, about a year ago, you ended up in a rap beef with someone else that's around the area. Haley, and it was dope for our city and everybody to hear like the back and forth going on about it. So what was, all right, let me think here. What was this ongoing like beef with you guys. You don't have to get into deep about the beef, but like, what was this problem that brought this up? Because it was like random to everybody.
Oh yeah, because it was random to me. I'm a I'm a guy. I'm an impulsive kind of guy sometimes. Like I'm super impulsive and like, he's just. I've known of him for some time, and it's like that's always been his forte. That rap beef shit. So it's like I felt like nobody expected that. I felt like that was one of the few situations where I felt like I was an underdog. Like, oh, you know what I mean? Like Pitbull want to play, with the baby Pitbull or some shit like that, right. Or a whole different breed on him or whatever. So I felt like in respect to him, if he was going to talk to me that way and talk about like he was just, I don't know what got into him one day. He felt like he needed to speak about me. So of course people showed it to me and I said, okay. I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, you're not like this. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? And then like the way he was just talking to me, I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm not even gonna say anything that ain't on some music. Like I'm gonna let him know how I really feel. So you know what I mean? Like I just felt like that match was needed. Like I wanted him to know that, like, you know what I mean, we could both pull on the same rope. You know what I mean? We both dogs, we could pull on the same rope. And you know what I mean? It was all, fair in the game. Like, you know what I mean? So it was what it was. I respect it. And that's what it was. Like I said, I respect it.
Nah, that was dope though to see, because honestly, for me, knowing about your music previous to that, it's like this dude's a dope artist. You know what I'm saying? He's very unique and creative. But when that beef happened, because Devin Haley, he's very bar heavy. When that beef happened, it brought out a side of you that showed me like, oh shit, like this nigga could rap his ass off too. Like you're bar heavy too. So it was a dope spar back and forth. So I feel like that kind of brought something, you know what I'm saying, some light to your pen game even more, honestly.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Honestly, that inspired me to write so many more songs because I felt like I haven't, did something like that in a while. Like I haven't really had anyone to gun for in some time. And I was like, you know what? Like, let me work this. And then after I was done, I'm like, man, I'm about to write some actual songs right now with this same, and because that intensity, it brings out the best of you. We done seen that happen before.
Yeah, because that shows how competitive because hip hop is, my fault if you heard that ping, but hip hop is a competitive sport. Like, so to be able to, y'all kept it hip hop, and to see that you're taking that same like energy and just writing, you know what I'm saying? And going in that route with keeping that energy, that's dope, man. I'm glad that like good things came out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure.
But now so basically last year, 2020, the pandemic happened. So how crazy was that for you personally and for your music career?
For me, it was real scary. I ain't gonna lie, because it's like I was already up. Like being an independent artist, like you always, up in the air, and if you ain't got a plan right then in that moment, you feel like everything is crashing and everything is burning just because you ain't got something figured out. And I just didn't understand how it was going to affect the game, which none of us really knew. But once I started like learning the gist of it, once I got the family safe and, you know what I mean? Like I started to really understand like what I needed to do. And I'm like, it definitely stopped me from a lot because I'm not like, I usually throw videos out. I'm a video kind of dude. Like I like to drop videos and like, that you couldn't drop videos because you couldn't shoot them. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't, and I felt like that shit halted me. Like that shit stopped me for a little minute. But you learn things about yourself. A lot of us built new, got new skills while in the pandemic. So I am grateful.
So good came out of it as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's something that happened, honestly, when we came out of it, we look back on it like, yo, actually, it wasn't that bad. Like we got time to understand like family is more important. Like I feel like we were all distancing. Everybody's just so busy all the time, but that slowed us down to appreciate what we have around us.
Oh yeah, and like I mean, like rest in peace to all the people that passed and shit like that. You know what I mean? From it, of course, but it's like, if you did have some time to yourself, you know what I mean, being around a family that shit helped a lot. You know, it really did help a lot.
Right. And then now that we're out of that, it's 2021. Now I want to ask you, as an artist, you know what I'm saying, with a good fan base, you know what I'm saying, you're doing your thing right now. 2021 as an artist, what are the pros and cons of an artist today in this era, the social media era?
Okay, so the pros is it's anyone's ball game. The ball is always in your court. That's the pro. That's one of the greatest pros. You technically always got a chance. You never know. Whether you never know what your weighing gonna be. Maybe you're gonna have to pay to get in that door. Maybe it's gonna cost you a crazy budget, a crazy bag. Maybe you're gonna get lucky off a whim. You know what I mean? You never know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd say that's the pros. And we live in a time where you can always show something. You on the same Instagram as Meek Mill. You on the same Instagram as, you know, Cole Bennett. You on the same Instagram as some of the greatest creators, you know what I mean? And people that could ultimately be your lifeline one day. So you could get popping and your hero will DM you, you know? So I don't think that there's anything that could, you know, beat that. I would say the cons is that people absorb content way faster than they used to.
Yeah.
So you in the house, you cooking up videos, you know what I mean? Like, you got like whatever your work ethic was before, you know, the past 4 years, 3 years, whatever your work ethic was before, no matter who you was, you had to juice that shit up in 2021. Like it's no question that shit didn't let nobody be a sleeper. It didn't let nobody do nothing. Like, nah, you gotta be on your shit. Like, you need to be somewhere hanging out with somebody. You need to be doing something, like, like in this time, you know. So that's the one con. And it's like, you know, we all love making shit, but damn, how much shit we could make. But at the end of the day, we creators, this is our job. This is what God gave us, you know, that mind, you know. So I would say those are the pros and cons.
Right. And with you saying that, I recently came to it because with having the twins, it's like I lost myself kind of like, and I'm not, I don't want to make this about me. I just want to explain something.
Oh, no, I understand.
So having the twins, it was like so much going on, like, damn, like what the fuck? And I fell back off the podcast, fell back off of mixing, fell back off of pushing anything because I didn't know how to take grasp of it, to the point where I lost myself. And I'm thinking like, yo, it could be so much because I'm thinking content, but it could be so much easier. I said, shit, why don't I just take Saturday or Sunday, get 5 different outfits and make a whole week of content on the weekend, and just, I won't have to do shit for the rest of the week. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just do the regular shit.
Yeah. And you know, the best thing about that, that's only one haircut to work.
Exactly.
You gotta get one cut.
Right. You look good for the whole week.
The outfits ain't the same, but this cut, this is this week's cut, you know?
Exactly.
But yeah, bro, like that's the type of, imagine that though. Imagine that type of mind state that we gotta have. Like, you know what I mean? There's motherfuckers in Hollywood who wasn't living that lifestyle, who was living that lifestyle, and it's like everybody gotta live that lifestyle. You gotta make shit. You gotta cook up. If you're not cooking up, somebody else is releasing. They taking your niche. Instagram gave up on you. They threw you to the wolves. They don't give a fuck about you. Ain't no timeline for you.
Right. And it's crazy you say that. I just told my boy the other day, he was like, I don't feel like posting this video. I got a lot of shit to do. I said, bro, there's a nigga out there right now that's posting the video. He didn't want to do it, but he made sure he did that shit today and put that content out. And he was like, yo, facts. He put that shit out, got hella likes, got hella love. He's like, yo, thanks for pushing me to do that shit. Because you can't take days off, bro. Niggas is working every day.
Yo, you gotta work. You gotta reach out. All those people out there that create content or don't create content, or your friend creates it, reach out and let them know that they need to get it the fuck together. You know what I mean? Like, you need to, like, you know, you be down as a content creator, like, damn, what the fuck should I make sense? You know, if you got a friend that do that shit, just keep in mind they working hard.
Oh shit, I lost you.
Oh yeah, no. The hotline bling.
Yeah. All right, so I do want to ask you though, because you built a good audience, a dope following. What do you feel got you the audience you have today? Was it consistency, engagement, building and maintaining relationships? What helped you the most with that?
I would say consistency as far as who I am. You know, like it's always been a building process. You know what I mean? Like, I've been a victim of like, you know, times where I wasn't able to release for a while. And it's like, you know, you feel like you've fallen off or whatever, but then you realize that there's people who still waiting on you. So it's like me ultimately, I feel like just who I am, you know what I mean? People could always recognize me as the dude that made that best day ever freestyle. And they still, you know, recognize me for the high road, and I'm not a whore, you know what I mean? So it's just like, they feel like me, it's all the same person. And it took me some time to understand what that is, what a niche is, like what your, you know, what your flavor is, even if your flavor has a variety in it. You know, that'd be the hardest part, because it's just like, I'm not just no gangster rapper. I'm from Newark. I know what it's like. I be there. I have to be in the mix. Like, you know, you got family in the trenches. You got everybody down there. You know what I mean? So it's like, you got that, but then you also got the side where, you know, well, me personally, I'm like, you know, I know how to speak to women on these songs. Like, I know, you know, what it's like. I know that life, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to figure out, like, damn, what do I need to make? And then it's like, you realize, like, oh, no, I need to make all of these things, but I still need to keep a certain my perspective on it. You know what I mean? So
like stay grounded.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at with it. Okay. That's what I feel like was the, you know what I mean, has been the author of my success.
That's dope. And that's dope for people to hear too. Just basically stay, you get a good foundation and just talk about every level of what you do. That's it.
Yeah, and just know what you're good at. Like, remember what you're good at. And you know, if people are consistently asking you for something, that means they fucking want you to do it, okay? Right. So it's like, you may not have a song with such and such, or may not have a video collab with such and such, but it's like, if motherfuckers is asking for it, they want that. So it's like, listen to the people, listen to your circle, you know, when you can, you know what I mean? Listen to the people, listen to the circle, and like, listen to yourself. Like, look at what you have fun doing, what you know how to do, you know, what you're willing to teach yourself to do, and you go from there.
Wow. Yeah, that's dope. That's definitely dope. All right, I got two last questions here for you. Okay. So I want to know, and for people to get your flavor, what's on a Thouzand Floyd playlist right now?
Oh man, so that's crazy. I just made a playlist called "Get Over It." It's on Spotify now.
Okay.
I got like a lot of the new guys on there, like 42 Doug, like Murray. He's on there. Like, I really like him. Like, I feel like Murray. What's his name? He just dropped the album Soulfly. What is it? His name?
Who?
You know what I'm talking about? What's his name? Rob. Is it Rob or is it
Rob?
The kind of heavy set dude with the. It's like, well, either way, Murray, he's the type of music Murray is making, like that ghetto gospel. I feel like that's.
Oh, you talking about Rod Wave?
Rod Wave.
Okay.
Rod Wave, I fuck with Rod Wave hard. You know what I mean? So I'm listening to him. Of course, I'm waiting for CLB. Of course, like, I love Drizzy. You know, whose album did I just listen to? I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. I do listen to a lot of R&B, man. I listen to a lot of R&B.
That makes sense.
That's just what I like to listen to. You know what I mean? It's just a vibe. You know what I mean? Of course, when I'm mobbing with the bros, like, you know, you listen to something for that moment, but shit, like, when I'm listening to that little vibe, that Sade, like, I know what the fuck I'm doing. You know what I mean? But
that's dope.
Like, I love it that it's just so much music coming out and whatnot. You know what I mean? It's just so much to hear, so much to indulge in.
Right.
And Roddy, of course, I love Roddy Ricch. I like him too. Like, I like the melodic rappers. I do listen to Joyner too. It's just it's so many to listen to. Those are all on they all on my playlist though.
No, that's dope. That's dope. 42 Doug is questionable, but I'll give you the rest. I'll give you the rest of them.
42 Doug, he's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
And, but like, I like rap, like Southern rappers, like 21 Savage. I got some deep ties down. Yeah, 21. Yeah. Of course, I fuck with the baby. You know what I mean? I fuck with like Southern rappers. I love the South. Between me and you and all of your listeners, I feel like I belong there, low key. Like, that's where I belong. I belong in the South. You know what I mean? But I don't live there yet. I still live in the North. But I feel like I belong in the South. I've always been a fan of the culture. I got family there. You know what I mean? My boy, he put me onto the South Carolina life. Shout out Nico. You know what I mean? Producer. I fuck with down there. Like, shout out Tilo. It's a lot of motherfuckers, you know what I mean, down there that I fuck with so hard. And like, I learned their culture when I was young, and I knew, you know, what it meant to be down there. And there's so much love, there's so much Black love down there. And you know, that's why I always give those type of artists a chance. Like 42 Doug, him and Future, they track Maybach. That's my shit. Like, I'm bumping to that. You know what I mean? So.
No, that's dope. Yeah, the South definitely. I feel like our era kind of like the South was like a heavy hold on the game at that time. So I feel like I feel like that's a good place to be too. A lot of people coming out the South, so it's definitely dope. Now, also, excluding Drake, take Drake out the equation. Who's an artist that's in the industry? Because everybody want to work with Drake. Who's an artist in the industry you'd want to collab with one day? Like, let's try to. I like manifesting things, so it's like, who is someone that you would really want to work with?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I would like to do a song with Joyner. Man, I would want to try to keep up. I would want to try to. I would want to, you know, put my tickets in, put my name in that card. Definitely him. I would definitely want to do a song with Big Sean. I love Big Sean. I always been a Big Sean fan. Yeah, he's definitely in my top 5. Eminem. I love Eminem. Like,
today's Eminem, though.
It don't. At the end of the day, let me tell you something. When it comes to old and new versions of rappers, no matter who Eminem becomes, that nigga wrote Stan.
That's a fact. No, it's a fact.
I'm sorry. He has the thing about a rapper like Eminem or Jay-Z. I love Jay-Z. I love these motherfuckers. The thing about them, they made such a big catalog when they were everyone's favorite. Right. You know, they got enough for a lifetime. We call Biggie one of the best ever. He only got 2 albums.
Right.
Tupac, and the same thing. You know what I mean? So you don't have to have much. Like me, I'm a grateful music listener. Let me say that. I listen to your album. If it's 2 songs I fuck with, yo, thank you for those 2 songs. If it was 25 songs, those 2 songs, I'm picky. Those 2 songs that I got, I'm gonna listen to them shits. If I downloaded it, I promise you I'm gonna listen to that shit. So imagine, you know, Eminem in that time, he gave me so many bangers that I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna never be able to forget this song.
Right.
I'm gonna never be. So it's like, you got to be grateful, you know what I mean? You got to be super grateful for the music that you're getting, because you never know, they could be gone. Look at Nipsey, yo, that shit killed me when he passed away. You see that guy on the wall?
Right.
Yo, I love that nigga, man. And it's like, you got to be thankful, like, in whatever period they making songs you like, be thankful, because it don't matter if they make a million other songs they don't like, they still touched you.
Right.
Who cares who they are now? I'm going to still bump Stan. You know what I mean? I'm going to still bump whatever the Eminem show, you know, all of that shit. So I would love to do a song with him just off the sake of, you know, me as a kid, you know what I mean? Like, and like, it's not like all the shit he make now is trash. Like, maybe I download 1 or 2 less songs. Okay, cool. But he still gave me some. Right. Another nigga I fuck with, West Side Boogie. Boogie.
Fire.
Like, fire nigga, man. He's super dope. Definitely want to cook up with him.
Yeah, I can actually see that too.
Oh yeah, man, that nigga's fire.
He reminds me of like he's like a big R&B guy too, like because he sing a little bit and all that shit too. I could definitely see y'all making a song.
Man, I'm gonna bump into that nigga one day, man. I'm gonna do it. It's you know what I mean? It's kind of scary when you want to work with certain female artists. They think you're doing it for the moment. So I'm going to let those things manifest themselves, okay? But
which female artist did you...
a few folks that I run into.
Which female artist did you say you were breaking up a little bit?
I was saying that female artists, like, you know, I feel like people say certain female artists just for the moment, you know, just for who's hot. Like, me personally, I'm a fan of Janae Aiko. Like, I fuck for her since ago. You know, she's goated up there with singers, you know what I mean? Yeah. SZA's from New Jersey, yo, where she used to live at, like, that wasn't even far from where I lived at, you know what I mean? Like, she's from Maple. That shit was right there, you know? So seeing her blow up is just crazy for me, being a New Jersey kid. Like, I love her. What's her name? Mariah the Scientist. That's one of the newer artists. I really like her. Yeah, she just dropped the album. She definitely had a couple vibes on her. I like her because she just got she like Mariah, like she just came in with her own flag. Like,
Right,
all right, this
exactly.
is, you know what I mean? So that's how it went.
Ah, that's dope. That's dope. And also, so again, we got July 30th. We got your new single out featuring YP called "I Want to Forget."
Yes, sir.
You said it's a dope vibe, gritty vibe. So we can't wait to see that. One of your favorite features that you got sent in.
Yeah.
So we definitely want to see that. And it's a video on the way. And low key, you said I'm gonna tell everybody.
Hey man, do it.
You sent me the video, and low key, I'm hyped because I get to see it before y'all, and I'm gonna check it out. Yes, and I'm gonna let you know because all your videos is fire. I ain't expecting nothing less. Now, if it's less, I'm gonna let you know though. I'm gonna let you know.
Look, that was regular degular. I'm gonna touch him, man. I'm gonna definitely touch him, and I appreciate that, bro. I'm happy that you get to see that motherfucker twice. But it'll be out there soon. Yes, sir.
Word. And then I do this with all my people. Is there any last things that you want to get off your chest or any shout outs that you want to give before we get off here?
I want to shout out one of my homegirls, her and her sisters, their clothing line, Lena Lee. I'm wearing one of their hats, See the Good. Dope. And I definitely want to give them a shout out. They dope, up and coming designers, and I love that, man. I love people who create, and Trap Picasso, he's another designer that I really like. You know what I mean? Like he's doing his thing. That's a cuff. But dope. I wanna definitely shout out the designers, shout out Cooley the Gang, everyone for sure. But that's about it.
And can you tell them where they can find you at on streaming platforms, Instagram, all that shit?
You streaming platforms. I'm Thouzand Floyd, Thouzand that's with a Z. All social media platforms. It's Thouzand Floyd, and thouzandfloyd.com. That should be up soon. So
there you get a website. So that
I have one. I have one. Oh yeah, I got some merch on the way. I wasn't gonna say. But I'm gonna definitely drop some merch. I believe I'm gonna drop some merch with I Want to Forget. If not that one, it should be up soon. I have someone working on my site again now. I have one, but I just needed to update it. So it's game time. I had to hit him with some juicy shit when I came back.
He said this is the one that's gonna unload the clip. So we hype.
Yeah,
definitely ready for this. And I do want to thank you, man, for your time again, spending this hour with me, you know what I'm saying, and chopping it up. And everybody, this is Thouzand Floyd. Thank y'all for being in tune. We back next week. Let's go.